All right, and welcome to another exciting week of Technology Tuesday. I'm here with my partner, Mr. Jerry Franklin Poe, and I'm Greg Russell. And today we're going to share with you some things that entrepreneurs should be doing every year to make sure their business has the things they need and should have so that you can avoid some of the pitfalls that most people don't take the time to look at. So we're going to dive in head first right now. All
All right, all
right.
right, all right, folks. You know what day it is. It's Tuesday. If you see both of our faces, you probably know it's Tuesday. So it's Technology Tuesday. It's 2 p.m. here on the East Coast. We're here every single week giving you the practical knowledge, practical applications so you can have practical solutions for your business.
Yes, sir. Man, before we dive in, how are you doing, man, with that weather? You guys got a little bit of snow last week, so I'm just checking in, seeing how you're doing.
A little bit. So, I mean, did you get snow over the weekend? Okay, I think like the Carolinas might have got snow over the weekend, but we had. I mean, it's still difficult. You know, you're a New York guy, right?
Yep,
So it's
yeah, I
still
know.
difficult to find a parking space.
Yeah, I
They're
see.
still scrapping over parking spaces. They still putting the cones out because once you dig that spot out, yo, don't mind me taking because so for those who don't know, once the snow gets to a certain level and you dig out your space, you try to put something there to reserve it so nobody parks in your spot. Fortunately, we have a driveway and we with all that, but like when you try to go in town, right? You go into a town or even to a parking lot, right? Because the snow has to get plowed, so some of the parking spaces are taken up because it's the snow. I mean, it was about 10 to 12 inches, and
Man,
it was freezing rain on top of that. So because it was the freezing rain, it creates like snow like bricks. So it's that heavy, heavy, heavy snow. Yeah. So I'm waiting for that sucker because it hasn't been warm enough to melt. Like it's been in single digits and low double digits. Right now they're getting excited because it got to like 32 degrees.
oh
Like they're like,
man.
oh, we got above freezing, yay! I'm like, I just want this stuff to melt, man,
Yeah.
because it's that time of year where like everything is dirty. Like you walk outside, you get it's so when I say dirty, for those who don't know, never lived on the East Coast, it's like snow has its own little thing to it. It's like everything gets like a gray film because there's the salt and your shoes get stuff on there and the car got like the snow slush in from the road. It's like
I remember all too well, my friend. I remember all too well.
yeah, yeah.
And-
So I'm just ready for all that to like melt, man. Like you know what I
yeah.
mean. So that's where we are now. It's like yeah, it's still it's still like I'm putting trash cans on top of a snow pile. You know what I mean? It's like because the trash man gotta come, and I didn't dig out a spot to put the trash can by the road, so it's like here, just put it on top of the snow, and hopefully y'all can get it from there. But yeah, I did dig out for the postal workers. I dug out the part where they could drive up to deliver the mail
That's nice.
because I want them to make sure when they deliver, like, I want to make sure any checks can be delivered properly. So
Yeah.
I did that. But yeah, we're still waiting for it to melt. And I don't think it's gonna melt anytime soon. I don't see the temperatures rising anytime. It's
Well,
been a very interesting season.
we did get unseasonably cold weather for a few days. However, we did get snow in the state of Texas, but luckily for me, I didn't get anywhere I am here in Houston. So, yeah, man, wishing you the best with dealing with that. I know a lot of people are dealing with that, and it's making um, difficulties for dealing with that kind of weather for so long.
Yeah.
So,
So fortunately for us, we didn't lose any power or things of that nature. So you can as long as you in today's world, as long as you got the internet and well, you have to have power to have the internet, right? Because you have your Wi-Fi, and you can be locked in. We have enough streaming programs. So I've been cleaning up because it's like, yo, you don't want to go outside. Like for real, for real.
Yeah,
For those who don't know, it's cold out there. Like you don't want to be out there for long. Like I just ordered some new gloves because I was like, man, I was trying to, I was trying to get away. Like, yeah, I don't need no gloves. And I was like, nah, I had just ordered some gloves off of Amazon because it was like, it was like 9 degrees and like feels like like so low that it's like, yo, this is just terrible, terrible.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what
Well,
it's going.
man,
That's what it's looking like. That's what it's looking like over there. And then now Houston, y'all over there. What you got like 60, 65? Wait, what you got over there?
yeah, yes. I'm just gonna say
Yeah,
yes. that's
y'all be
that's
talking about it's
exactly what we
cold
got.
outside. We got 65 degrees.
Well, listen. For us, anything below 50 is really feels cold because we're so warm all the time, and for it to
Yeah.
drop down into the 20s for several days was a shock to the system. And
Oh,
again,
no
some
doubt.
some parts of this state got snow and ice, and we were just lucky. But yeah, man, the weather is changing. We are noticing extreme weather all over the world. Just the you know believe in the global warming or not, the stuff is changing, and you got to deal with it.
Climate change is real.
Climate change, yeah, climate change.
It's real.
It is real. Well, listen, man.
It's
Let's dive in here, bro. So I'm looking at things that I'm working on in my agency with my clients, and I figured I'd share some things that's real important that we typically look at the beginning of the year. And basically, what happens is, um, if you go to your website and you go all the way to the bottom, you typically see a copyright, right? And a date next to that copyright. Not a date, but a base, typically a year. And for a lot of people who do not update this is something that can cause harm to your site when it comes to people seeing if your stuff is updated, are you still in business, and also when certain bots crawl your site to see if you have the rights to do certain things like collect emails and such. So your copyright is really important. And also, if it's not up to date, then basically what you're saying is people can copy your content without your permission, right? So it's important that you put the copyright date. So, Jerry, let me know your experiences. How do you feel when you come across a site? And is this something you notice? Like, for me, I want to make sure all of my clients are up to date. And so I'm going to show you guys how to do it today on the two most popular platforms, which is WordPress and Go High Level. And then if it's not updated, you'll see how you can do it. And before I share with you that, Jerry, what is your experience when you come across a site that does not have an updated copyright? Does it bother you, or do you not care?
I would say I don't pay attention unless there is something significant where it feels like it's out of date or out of like the content on the site looks like it hasn't been updated. Like or you try to reach out to the person and they're not getting back to you. Then it's like, okay, well when was this last updated? Like when does it show that they've made some changes?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when I typically pay attention to it.
All right. And so if you guys aren't familiar with what we're talking about, I'm gonna just jump down here, show you the desktop right quick. And so if you scroll all the way down here, this is Amazon. If you scroll all the way down to the bottom, they have the copyright symbol, and then they have from 1996 to 2026, right? 30-year span. And most people just use this year, but this particular one uses a year. But this is what we're talking about. We're talking about the copyright date
So
for your
pause there for
company.
a second. So
Yes.
so what do you think is best? Should you put the whole range of like 30 some years or
Um, I think you just need the current year.
okay.
Yeah. I don't know, and that's something you can ask ChatGPT about. Like, say, hey, act as a legal professional, and is it best to put just a single year for a copyright, or should we put the whole span? It's just something you can ask. But for myself and my clients, we just want to put the current year. What you don't want to have is 2023 or 2024, right? You want to make sure it's up to date with the current year. So that's just something that's important that you have inside on your site, and it's for every single page. So if you are a little bit old school and you don't have a system that will update it system wide, then you need to go through and update every single page. However, if you follow the strategy and the technique that I'm going to share with you today, you would only have to go through this once and it will automatically update every single year. Not everybody, who deals with websites and web pages puts the time in to have these systems so that it updates, but we're going to share that with you today, as long as some other things that is really important. At the beginning of the year, is your site, pages updated with the current year? So it being, early in February, it's time for you to go look at your site and see if your stuff is updated. And if not, then you should go update it. All right, Jerry. So I'm going to show you how to do this for WordPress first, and then we'll show you go high level. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna jump over to our good friend Google, and we are going to jump into the definition here. Not the definition, but one of the things I do, I said current year WordPress shortcode because I wanted to see if everyone could do this, right? So I will tell you that there's two things that if you have a WordPress site will depend on whether you can do this. Whether this feature is built into your theme, and if it's not, then you can add on a plugin that will give you this feature, right? And so basically, if you Google current year WordPress shortcode, it will kind of just give you the instructions. And basically, if you there's links to the plugin there. If your theme doesn't have it, most themes, updated themes, already have it, so you shouldn't have to add anything else. You just need to put in this shortcode, right? And this is just text that you put in the place where you want it to be, and it's bracket current underscore year bracket, right? And that's all you would need of this right here on your page. And if you put that on there and you see current year and you don't see the actual year, then you need to go grab the plugin. Okay. So I'm going to jump into one of my sites here, right? And so you can see down here, it is 2026, but this over here is the section that has the copyright. And what you'll notice here is this says bracket current underscore year bracket. And that is what keeps that updated. And if I, add EEE there and I publish this, as it's showing us here. Now you see all these E's here that I just added. So this is how it keeps this. So you know what I just showed you is accurate as far as that short code right there. So that is how you do it on WordPress. Jerry, do you have any questions that you think the viewer might have? Because I want to make sure everyone's clear on this.
Does everyone know how to get to where you were in that section? I know that's for those who are. I mean, some people. I'm not sure if everyone is familiar with WordPress though, like that.
Okay. Thank you for that. And so let's show you where that is, right? And so let me close this and break this down for you guys. And we'll just go to the site and I'll show you how WordPress works right quick. So WordPress being one of the most popular systems for managing web pages and web content, how it typically works is you'll have a header, which will have the logo and the navigation, right? And then you have the page and the content on the page. And then if we scroll all the way down, you have the footer. And for most WordPress sites, the header and the footer are edited and set up separately from the actual page for the most part. And so for most of the themes, if you go into your editor, right? So if we go into the dashboard, sorry about this. This is this new Windows feature that I'm just getting used to. If we go into the dashboard, this will basically bring us to the back office of WordPress, and we go to our pages. You can edit the content on the page, but typically to get to the header and footer, it's either under the appearance and the customize. This particular theme is Astra. It's one of the most popular. And if we go to customize, it has a specific section for the header and the footer, right? And so if we go in there, then you can see the footer bar and you can get there. If you're not sure, we have our good friend AI, and you can say, hey, my theme is X. Know the name of your theme. If you don't, I'll show you where to grab that right quick. If you go over here under appearance and themes, you'll be able to find the name of your theme right down here. Whatever says active, and it'll have the colon and the name. Just say, hey, my WordPress theme is whatever yours is, and where can I update the footer? And your good friend chat will let you know. All
Awesome.
right. Cool, man. I want to make sure we got that covered. Awesome. So that's one of the main things is updating your copyright date, right? If you go through and you add that to either all the pages, or if you have a footer section like our theme, if we update it in the footer section, we have to do it in one place and it updates on all the pages where that footer is. So if you don't, take the time to go do it on all your pages this year, and you won't have to do it again next year because it will automatically update. So this is one of those things you need to do. All right, Jerry. So I'm going to move on to the second thing, the most important, one of the most important things. While you're down there, you should look at your privacy policy, terms of service, and legal documentation. Right? Is your site linking to a privacy policy? Is your site linking to your terms of services? This is things that you have to have because the internet is growing up. It's getting more mature, and we have to do things legally now that we could just skim through in the past. Right? So for me, I haven't updated my privacy policy in a couple years, so I had to go through. And then there's all sorts of different privacy policies that you have. There's your terms of service, there's your privacy policy, there's a cookie policy, there's a terms of use. Okay, I just got an error. So we're just going to continue. We're still streaming, so we're still
Are you
good.
are you showing it on the screen?
I am not. I'm just talking to you.
Okay.
So the other thing is when you now set up for I forgot to show you it on WordPress. I'm sorry, on Go High Level. So I'll show you that as soon as I finish this statement. So now you have to have those things in place because certain systems can now go and check before they allow you to do things. So, for example, late last year we had A2P come out, which is application to phone. So, if you have an application that you want to send text messages, you have to get approved because the people that actually send out text messages will get fined by the government. So the major telephony companies, AT&T, Sprint, T-Mobile, all of them, who's ever the actual telephony company behind your text messaging service, if you're using text messages from a platform, if you don't have your terms and services and legal agreements all set up, they will not grant you access. They will not approve your A2P application. And this is just the beginning. More and more things are going to come out for you to be able to do business on the internet where you're going to need to be able to have your legal stuff in place. And it's also important in case someone comes after you, you want to make sure that is up to date. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about that and how you can get some of the things if you don't. But let me share with you, Jerry, first how to do it on
Go High Level.
Go High Level. Yes. Where did it go? Okay. Here we go. Thank you for your patience, man. All right. So very similar to um, WordPress, there is a merge code that you can use, and it's just one of the merge codes that Go High Level has. And basically, it is, I don't know what the name of that bracket is, but it's right underscore now dot year, right? And so let me share with you, if you Google GHL merge code, it will link to this website where you have all the merge codes that GHL has, right? So if you are using GHL and you want to get your merge codes, just Google GHL merge codes and it'll bring you to this page. And here is the one that is called right now merge code. So they can get the second, the minute, the 24-hour format, AM, PM, day of the week, all that stuff. And wherever you put this in your pages or emails inside of WordPress, it will update with the time, date, year, right now, anything right now, right? So here is the merge code that you can put in GHL at the bottom of your footer, and it will update with the whatever the year is at the exact time. And so again, if you put this in GHL, all your pages update, and you no longer have to change your pages every single year. Use the merge code. And in GHL, this is what it looks like on mine. I know it's a little small, but there it is. Cool. All right. Any other questions about that, Jerry? Make sure we're good to go.
I think we're good, man.
Awesome. Awesome. Cool. So, uh, what you see here, we will go back to that just so you see here. Down below that is our terms and services, privacy policy, earnings disclaimer. If you are doing any type of opportunity where people can make money, you want to have an earnings disclaimer, and you want to make sure you have all of your legal documentation set up. So one of the things you can do is you can have a conversation with AI, and you can say, "Hey, act as a legal professional who understands, internet law." And then you can say, "Hey, my products and services are this. This is my company. What legal policies do I need to have in place for my business?" Tell them the type of products you have, so that it can give you the type of things that you need. So I basically went from having three legal things. So I had a terms and service, a privacy policy, an earnings disclaimer, and I had one more. So I had four. But over the years, I have added different types of products, different types of services. And so when I had this conversation, it let me know that I need additional um, legal documentation, legal things on my website. So what I decided to do, Jerry, to make it easy, I decided to put it all on one page, have a navigation to the different notices or policies on that page. And then this way, using anchor links, which is just, you ever click on a link and it just brings you lower on the page? Most people have experienced this. You can just use those, and now all your stuff is all on one page. And so if you ever have to update it, you're only updating one page instead of the entire thing. So I'll show you this here. I will show you mine. And all I did was put it on /legal, right? So my website /legal, and basically this paragraph lets you know that it's relevant to all the sections on this page. And then this, if you click on anything, it'll bring you down lower to the page for that. So this is all the legal policies that I need for my business. And if you have this conversation with chat, it'll tell you the ones that you need. And once it tells you the ones you need, you can then ask it to go ahead and create each policy that you need to put it on your website. And so one of the things I do, Jerry, that I think is really, really critical when you do this. We all know that uh, AI is not 100% perfect, and it should never be used for like real legal advice. But you can get pretty close if you um, create it on one AI and then ask another AI about it to see if there's anything that it would change. Now, this is the way to do it without getting actual legal advice. And then once you're done, when you're ready, when your business is at a point where you can afford to have an attorney look through it, then you can have an attorney look through it. So that is the second major thing that people need to get set up on their businesses, that they should consider looking at the beginning of every year. Do we have the right policies and procedures in place? Again, online businesses growing up, you have to have these things in place. They need to be updated. And if you haven't looked at yours in a while, then now is the time at the beginning of the year to go ahead and look at it and get it updated. They are affecting the things you can and cannot do if you don't have them in place anyway. So you might as well take the time and get them updated. Your thoughts or questions about the legal documentations for your website and your business?
No, I'm just looking. I'm on your site right now, and I'm looking at the page that you built, that you just created. So you're at the bottom in your footer. Excuse me. I'm sorry, footer. You still have the link to the privacy policy, the individual policies, but then the page, the actual legal page that you created, is not an actual menu item. Is that correct?
Correct, because
Okay,
it's everything. Everything is just linked to this page.
got it.
So if I create an opt-in box, right, and on this opt-in box, you have to say you agree to certain things, then you link to this page. And if they check the box, then that means they agree to the terms of service on the page, right? And so the cool thing is, whatever type of thing I need them to agree to, whether it's a cookie policy or a privacy policy or terms of service, it's all on this page. And each section has its own individual link. So if you can link to that section if you need to, but convenience, everything is on the page.
Yep, yep.
So yeah, man, I like it. Once I saw this, I modeled mine after it, and if this makes sense for you, then you guys can model yours after your business as well. Legal stuff, really, really, really important, especially at the beginning of the year. All right, I got one more thing, Jerry, that I want to share that I think is really important, that can help put some money in your pocket right now. Anybody want to put money in their pocket right now? Anybody? Okay,
That
cool.
should be everybody raising their hand.
Thanks, man. So listen, this is something I did, and again, I'm going to be sharing you a few things that I'm doing. So basically, I sent out an email, one email, to my existing clients, and I basically just asked for a referral. Right, very simple. Just hey, I was thinking about you, wanted to wish you a happy new year, whatever, because it's the beginning of the year. You don't have to have a reason. But basically I was like, I'm glad I'm been able to serve you. And if you know anyone who might be interested, or who would need a service that like the service you're receiving, um, please send them my way. And the best way to reach me is either email or phone number, whatever you have. Something very simple, something, again, you can ask ChatGPT to give you a script for you to make it better, and you just send it out. Now, what's interesting is most people won't do this. It's so simple. It's like, listen, you can get you that your existing clients know you, like you, trust you. That's why they're paying you. They're most likely to refer you to others, but you simply don't ask. And if you ask, for me, I had two people refer people that got me additional clients just from that one email. So I think it's important that you just do this simple thing on a regular basis. Now, at the beginning of the year, this is the time you're looking at your your date, you're looking at your policies. Have you sent out, have you asked for referral in the last 60 to 90 days? If no, then you should do so. I was a consultant for another client. I told them to do this. They didn't do it. I did it at the exact same time. I told them, this is what you need to do this week. I wrote and scripted the email for them. I sent it to them and they still didn't send it out. I sent out mine that same week. I got two more clients and they did not. It's just that simple. It's like ask and you shall. Okay, that's how it works. So that's the third thing we need to do, Jerry, to be able to put some money in your pocket right now. And these things you can do over and over again. You can do this every 60 to 90 days. If you want a very simple email, just ask for referral. Sometimes you just have to ask. So I was able to do it. We have, now more than ever, the ability to have stuff written for us like a referral email. You can describe it. Hey, I do this. I do this. My clients have been with me for this long, and I ask them for a referral. Can you write me an email, right? And just take it and then make it yours. Ask it to update it if you need it, and the most important thing, send it out. So that's the last thing you can do to take your business to the next level this year, right at the beginning, almost at the beginning of the year, to get yourself set up for a really highly effective 2026.
Awesome. You have not because you asked not.
Yes, sir.
I read that somewhere. I believe it was in some type of Greek text that I read that many, 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 many years ago. So yeah, I believe it was Mark Victor Hansen said to GET, you have to ASK. And for
I
those who
love
don't
it.
know who Mark Victor Hansen is, that's he wrote the book Chicken Soup for the Soul with Jack Canfield. So yeah, man, a lot of times people just assume the answer is no, but if you ask the question, you have a 50-50% chance at a yes.
That's
So
right.
awesome, man. So
That's
this is
right.
pretty cool. I liked your idea for the policies, the legal policies. The idea of having it all on one page cuts down having to create a bunch of separate pages, and everything can be done all in one spot. So I think that's a novel idea to reduce the time and energy. Um, Having to do it like you have to update multiple pages at the same time, like over and over and over again. It's all one spot. We can update it.
Yes, sir. Listen, man, before we get ready for next week, I wanna share something with you. I'm always got my eye open and the hand on pulse of what's happening in technology, and so I want to take the time to talk about what so many people are talking about right now, which is the Moltbot Open Claw Clawbot stuff
That's
going on.
funny.
Have you heard of this? I'm pretty sure you have. You heard
I,
what's going on?
well, I was just talking. Well, I told you I was on the morning coffee hour with Ruben. Right,
Right.
Ruben was one of our guests last year, and it came up. It came up in conversation, as well. So they're having a try. I saw there was a training taking place, I believe tomorrow. I think. Let
Okay.
me just double check.
Well, well,
Yeah, but
well. Listen,
go
listen,
ahead.
Jerry.
Go ahead.
This is listen to me. There's two sides of this, right? And it's so
Uh huh.
early that I haven't actually been able to determine what I believe is which is right. Whether it's because there's certain aspects of it that are real, and there's certain aspects of it that are fake, and there's certain aspects of it that has not fully been determined. So the one thing that everyone agrees on is that it is a security risk to your own data. So if you really don't know what you're doing, you shouldn't use it. For the most part, most of everyone who watches our show most likely should not mess with it. Um, the other thing is, I've seen some things that have kind of shown that it's not actually what we really think it is, and some people behind the scenes are trying to just sell their thing. So it's convincing stuff on both sides. It's been hit the news. It's made, it's already hit the news, and I think if it is fake, if it's not really legit, I think it opens up the ideas of what if it wasn't, and how could someone put together something that was actually what it was. And I think we're in for some very interesting times coming up, but I think right now it's really too early to have a really full conversation on what it really is, because there's too much that has not been brought to the forefront of that lately. So on our show, where we kind of stay abreast of this stuff, we are looking at it, but it's not something I'm ready to fully commit to saying, yes, this is what it is, or this isn't what it is at the moment. It's just too new right now. And with that, next week, I'm going to show you guys how to get Alex Hormozi's book for free, $100 Million Money Model. So make sure you guys tune in next week for Technology Tuesday.
Yep. Yep.
Last thoughts.
No, I mean, I just got mine on Saturday. I think it was Saturday. Yeah, it came in the mail.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you join the group at technologytuesday.com, and we will see you next week for another exciting episode of Technology Tuesday. With that, be safe, be strong. Talk to you guys soon.